Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Guys, Microsoft is fighting back. That's right. They want to grow their empire even greater. And before I start, let me tell you, I am a Microsoft stockholder. That's right. So do not make any purchasing decisions or investment decisions based on what I say. This is for your entertainment. Now, with that said, let me tell you about what's going on here. Guys, as you well know, Microsoft decided to acquire Activision Blizzard because at that time they were an undervalued asset, right? They weren't performing well, and they saw long term that they could make more money out of the purchase, just like any other company would have that had the money, right? Anybody could have bought them. The problem here is that, Microsoft is trying to grow their brand. They're trying to make some exclusive content, which they lack. And because of that, a lot of companies, especially because before this, they acquired Bethesda, they were worried about them monopolizing the gaming space, right? And at this point, we have to say they are the leaders, right, in delivering digital content via their Xbox Game Pass type service, right? There's no other service like it that delivers the same. There just isn't. But there's a lot of, options for gamers out there. But people in the media, people with other interests, especially Sony, has been making a lot of noise of this because they see this as a threat to their business model. They've put it out there that they're trying to monopolize the business, and that is what Microsoft is trying to fight. And some of their arguments is number one, they're buying a property that's under distress. Not that they're not worth anything, it just wasn't being run properly, as you know, all the scandals, right? But number two, their biggest point is hey, we're number three. We're at number three behind Sony and Nintendo. So what are you talking about monopolizing? Even if we get these things, we're not going to be number one just because we bought Activision Blizzard. We're just trying to build our Xbox brand, right? And the way with the economy is going, they might have a point because growth has slowed down with the Game Pass service, right? And number two is that all these companies have exclusive content, right? So they're making a big fuss about Starfield being exclusive for the Microsoft brand, and that would be like saying, well, does Nintendo have to make Mario exclusive to Nintendo? Yes, that's their own IPs. That's the way it works. And that's what it's all about here. The unique position that Nintendo has is they have some unique IPs that they own and they can do many things with. And other companies pay attention to this. I think the weaker position here overall is for Sony because they don't have the infrastructure that Microsoft has, number one. Number two, they don't have the acquisitional power that they do to buy these larger studios. So I think they will always come in second when it comes to these subscription services. I think Microsoft has already become number one, and I don't see them going back down to anything because they have all the infrastructure set up. As a matter of fact, they can build other infrastructures and lease out, whatever infrastructure they can build to other companies. That's going to be a great money maker for them. So I think that show is over. Now the fight here is whether or not they can keep this deal with everybody fighting it. Now, if they went to court, is because they believe they have a case. And being number three, I think they do, guys. I think they might prevail here. And again, I'm an investor, so I'm looking out for my best interest here. But if I had to guesstimate, I would say they would probably prevail in some form. They might make some concessions. They'll say, okay, we're going to put these games on other platforms guaranteed. What they might do is make some exclusive Microsoft content that's only to their platform. I don't see that's unfair. They own the property. It's theirs to sell. The government can't prevent you from selling once you own something, but they can prevent you from buying it. So what deal they can cut up here, I don't know, but I don't believe they would have gone to court if they didn't know they could cut a deal. This is what this is telling me right here. So if I had to, put my finger in the air and check where the winds are going, I believe that they think they can cut a deal. And I think this deal, because they're willing to go to court, is done. So Activision will be a Microsoft platform. And, we better start getting ready for it. And I am looking forward to Starfield and other, exclusive content from Microsoft. But, I think that their business model is actually going to help them in court because they want to license the Xbox Game Pass to everyone. You see, they're not just in the same business that Sony's in. They're not in the same business as Nintendo is in. It's a completely different business. They know that long term, their future is in the software. That is what they want. They could be number 5 for all they care, as far as the hardware. As long as in the software realm, they're number 1, and they keep that subscription model going because in the future, that really is where the money's at, guys. So the bigger infrastructure they can create for that, the bigger success they foresee having in the future. I can foresee having a Game Pass type service on the PlayStation or Nintendo. I mean, it could on the cloud, guys. It really doesn't matter what you're playing in. They don't care if you play on your cell phone. They don't care if you mod an Xbox 360 and put it on the internet. What they care about is you giving them that monthly subscription. And from that monthly subscription, earning more money via microtransactions, via you actually purchasing the games, via anything. But the lifeblood of their business is going to be the subscription model. I think that is what they're going to say in court, more or less, right? They're going to point out the fact that they're number 3. They're going to point out the fact that Activision Blizzard was underperforming, right? And they're trying to, just make their money back. Activision Blizzard wasn't going to swing the scales one way or another if people weren't playing their games, right? And that's for anybody to see. I don't think anybody in the industry would say when you bought Activision Blizzard that we're doing amazing with all the lawsuits and all the crap that went in there. Guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you guys are having a Merry Christmas. I hope I'm entertaining you with this type of information. And if you like this kind of stuff, you got to make sure to subscribe, hit that bell. Let me know how you feel. Do you want this deal to go through? As an investor, right? I have a biased opinion. I do want it to go through for the well-being of the company long term. But what do you think? Are you down with this capitalism stuff? Well, I am. You know me. But what about you? I'll catch you on the next one. Oh, take care.
New videos every week. Make sure you don't miss out and subscribe.